Family gatherings, a time where relatives and dear friends can come together to reminisce old memories and concurrently make new ones. Or just take time out of their schedule to party, whatever floats your boat. Such huge get-togethers can be a lot to deal with for autistic people, but with this video, you can help them have fun as well, despite all the commotion. I'm Steven from Tostemac, and for today's autism video, I'm gonna share some tips and tricks on how to prepare for before, during, and after a family gathering to ensure that the autistic person has a great time. There are two things I want to mention before we get started. First, you're not going to be able to prepare for every single scenario. You'll just end up exhausted before the gathering even starts. That being said, this video will provide a basic plan to serve as a good starting point, without getting too much into specifics. Second, while some family gatherings may take place in someone's home, others could occur in a more public setting, like a restaurant, a movie theater, a museum, and so on. With this in mind, I'll make sure to differentiate the recommendations between the two settings whenever the need arises. Alright then, let's get to the prep time before the family gathering. As soon as you hear about a potential family gathering, or if you want to start one of your own, be sure to let the autistic individual know as soon as possible. The advance notice will give the autistic individual enough time to become mentally prepared for the upcoming event, in the circumstance where they have to have something arranged beforehand. Be sure to get as much information as possible. Where is the event going to be and when? What's the dress code, if there's a dress code? What food will be available? What activities, if any, will take place during the event? Is there a quiet place for the autistic to go to if they need it? There are a few more questions you might want to add depending on the situation. If possible, try to take part in the preparations to help accommodate for everyone, especially if a family gathering is taking place not at someone's home, but at a public place, because the location setting can change everything. Simply put, with a home setting, you are in control of what goes on in the environment, whereas in a public setting, it's their house, their rules. When the gathering is taking place in a public setting, you'll want to do your due diligence and research the location in advance. Information regarding the public location can easily be found online via their website. It's a good place to start, and if you have any more questions, feel free to call the staff directly to get the answers you need. Finally, and this is very important, be sure to give the autistic individual time to relax and mentally prepare the day before the gathering. Don't plan to do anything that would be too strenuous or anything that would get them wound up the night before. They'll just end up stressed out. Nothing good will come from that. Instead, you'll want this time for them to unwind and be ready for the event with plenty of energy and a clear mind. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but I assure you, the other two steps are not so involved. Believe it or not, the prep time is usually the biggest hurdle to overcome. The other two are much easier in comparison. Trust me. Now then, let's move forward to the day of. The advice will differ depending on the location setting, starting with the comfort of home. Remember, in this setting, you are in control. You determine what kind of food will be available, where friends and families will convene, as well as possible quiet places for if the autistic person or someone else needs them. If you see the signs of a potential meltdown, you'll want to take them to the quiet place. But do not make it sound like a bad thing or a punishment. Alternatively, word it in a way that sounds more positive, such as, "Hey, would you like to do this instead?" Or, "Hey, let's go over here for a bit and do something else, okay?" Not only will this help the individual calm down, they will also feel like everything is still okay and that they didn't ruin the party. There is one element to this family gathering that you won't be able to control. Not completely anyway. And that is the autistic individual willing to participate in family dinner and activities or not. Social norms may expect everyone to participate in everything involved in a family gathering, but that doesn't mean you should. Not right away. From passing food around the dinner table to dealing with all the noise and interacting with so many people, there is a lot to take in at one time. So much so that it can be a bit overwhelming. Give the autistic individual time to warm up to the activities on their own. In some situations, it may take more than one family gathering, and that's okay. You do not want to force the autistic person into the activity, or else they won't enjoy it as much. Let them warm up to the idea. If they want to partake, awesome. But at the end of the day, it's their choice, not yours. When we change the scenery from someone's home to a more public place, like say a restaurant, there are few key differences to consider. Unlike home, you have very little control of what's going on in the environment. It's not like you can just tell the people sitting next to your table to quiet down because they're being too loud. They're at the place to enjoy themselves, not to be told what to do.
That, and you're most likely stuck with what is on the restaurant's menu. It sucks that you can't bring different food for the autistic person.
Actually, in most cases, you can.
Wait, what? I thought the restaurant would want you to eat their food, not yours.
True, that is preferable for the establishment. However, if a family gathering is big enough, no one's really gonna care so long as the restaurant is making money. Of course, if you want to play to the air of caution, you can always call the location prior to the gathering and mention any potential food concerns, or even ask if it's okay to bring a substitute for the autistic person just in case. The staff there should be okay with it and even try to accommodate. In terms of a quiet space, your best bet is outside, weather pending, or even your own vehicle. Again, don't make it sound like a bad thing, but rather something else to do instead. At long last, we get to the end of the day. Here, I only have one piece of advice. Don't stay up too late. Much like in the before phase, you want to give the autistic individual enough time to relax, unwind, and prepare for the next day, in case they have something else coming up. So there you have it, some tips and tricks on how to make a family gathering more enjoyable for the autistic people. Again, this is just a basic plan. We didn't go into too many specifics. So if you have any other questions, concerns, or if you want to share your own personal experience, let us know in the comment section below and I'll answer it as best I can. On that note, it's time to end the video. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you like what you see, consider subscribing to Tostemac to stay up to date on our latest videos. Also, if you have time on November 24th from noon to midnight, we are having a very special birthday live stream on Twitch. My birthday live stream. So if you have the time, we'd love for you to join in on the fun. Until the next video, see you later.